Hello, we're back to Girl Sesh. And the Girl Sesh sisters today, we're all pooped. I mean, this isn't even like, oh, I'm tired because I've been moving rocks all day. No, we're just like tired. It's the middle of the day, it's the middle of the week. And yeah, we that's what we're about. So welcome to my two co-hosts, the amazing Stephanie and Lisa. My name is Wonderful. We're here to talk about the shit we're going through right now in midlife. I'm a 51-year-old midlifer. Lisa, what about you?
45-year-old midlifer.
And Stephanie?
50-year-old midlifer.
Okay, so here we are. We're just throwing out numbers, right? And this is like a real age. And today, let's get started with the most important subject on the minds and hearts of all midlifers, our health and wellness. Lisa, what's happening with you in the health and wellness today?
Ugh, I can't figure out why my tongue feels like sandpaper. I have been drinking water and I've always been a really good water drinker. I will drink like 2 to 3 of my 40-ounce bottles every day. I'll have like a tea in the morning. I'm not a caffeine drinker at all, but my tongue all of a sudden has just been like I literally feel like I could go smooth a board with it. Like I don't understand what's happening right now. I could like lick it. I'd be like, oh, now all the rough edges are gone.
Yeah, and you know what? Like I get like dying of thirst. Like I'm in
Yeah.
the desert, like 10 o'clock at night. Literally, I'll just sit up and I'm like, what? Just guzzling water. Not during the day though, not during the day, but at night. And now let's go to our expert, Stephanie. What is happening to
And
us?
she's like, let me take a drink because now my tongue feels super dry.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I have had that same thing. Um, I don't know, it is midlife. I have to um I drink lemon water with malt and salt in it first thing in the morning. And then I take 4 to 5 scoops of it's called Relight with Redmond's sea salt in it. I do that in my water bottles 4 to 5 times a day. And that has been the only thing that has
Oh,
helped. And I mean,
yeah.
I'm drinking a blender bottle full of water like before I go to bed so that I'm not waking up with like a cow tongue that needs like a salt lick in the middle of the night.
Okay, so wait, what is this Maldi? What did you say salt? What was the first salt?
Malden,
Yeah, what's Maldi?
Malden.
I've never heard of this salt. Maybe I
So
have. Didn't know what it was because last time
yeah,
you were like, "Hey, you take your peptides." I had no idea I was already taking them.
Malden salt is like they're like flakes
Okay.
and they have a ton of like electrolyte power in them. And you just take the flakes and then you just break them up. And I do about like literally 3 or 4 into my lemon water and stir it around. And
Oh,
and it works. And it's my in the morning because I don't drink caffeine either. So for some reason, when I hit my menopause stage, I couldn't drink coffee anymore. I was trying to drink a mushroom coffee that had only like 45 grams of caffeine. Couldn't do it. I cannot drink anything with any type of caffeine, or it will blow my heart out of my chest and I can't breathe.
oh
So I
no.
had to switch to lemon water with malt and salt, and it works. So that's the first thing that I
All
ingest.
this fault.
Yeah,
Okay.
it works great.
Now you're gonna have to send us the link, like to
Yep.
all of your secret
We'll
stuff.
have to like put the link in the description,
Yeah, prescription.
for everybody.
And believe it
Well,
or
I
not, you can
have
get a
been,
gigantic thing at Costco. You can get a gigantic thing of this at
oh,
Costco for like I think $4 or $5. Yeah. In the
Oh,
stores, it's way more expensive. Costco, same brand. Yeah.
okay.
I've been taking these little salt tabs because like the same with you, Lisa. It's just been I've been feeling really dehydrated and I don't feel it in my I literally feel it in my skin. Like my skin, it just you know how when you were a kid you'd swim in the pool with chlorine and you'd get out. That's what it feels like. Like tight part of me is like, wow, I'm tight. And part of me is like, oh my God, I'm gonna crack. I'm so tight. So I've been taking these salt tabs, right? Well, I went to go order it last week, sold out. So there must be 1,000,000,000 midlifers. Like, I'm buying it too in cases because I was like, there's no way this thing is sold
I
out.
need to get off this chat and go to Costco before all you go out there and get myself, apparently.
Buy all the salt up.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
agreed with you.
Okay,
I
but
gotta
then,
go.
okay, let's do the flip side of this, right? We've been told forever that salt is bad for us, right? That
Yeah,
sodium is bad for us. It's gonna bloat us. But there is good salts. Like our body does need salts. And I think that's another issue that for us as women, right? We've been fed this knowledge, quote unquote, of, hey, this isn't good for your body, keep your sodiums low. So how do
yeah,
we combat those things and reprogram ourselves to say, hey, this is healthy, this is good for us, and we need this?
yeah. And
Yeah, I
first
mean,
of all, is that
it
what
was
happens?
misinformation.
Is this what
Yeah.
happens when we sweat so much? Is that why we're getting so dehydrated? Because I kid
Yep.
you not, the last 2 days, I have been sweating like I am in a safari desert, sleeping in tents that have zero any kind of air in it, like sweating. Ladies, I just gotta show you. I'm wearing these, pleathery type pants. I go pee, and this thing is stuck on me because I've been sweating so, and I'm never wearing them again because you could hear it. Like I'm in the bathroom going, I hope no one else is. You're hearing that like, ripping off of my wet ass skin. Like, what is happening?
She's gonna be like Ross off Friends. You remember when he had
Right? Yes, yes, yes. You're gonna
underpants
be all
on?
caked with the baby powder all over you. Oh my
I'm
God.
never wearing these again. I haven't
No.
in a long time, and I've never had this problem. Just in the last couple of days, I'm like, what is the deal? Why am I sweating so much? Right?
But I'm not sweating. I'm not at that point in all of my, whatever you call them, like symptoms, right? Like I'm not there. But I've always been a person that runs cold, and I've not been freezing, but I've not been warm, but I'm just like I feel like I cannot drink enough water, and then at the same time I'm like I cannot drink another drink of water. This is crazy. And I also have been craving like carbonated beverages, which I never
Ugh.
to like at all. Like why is this normal? Why is this the new normal?
And once again, let's go to our expert, Stephanie.
You need testosterone.
Okay,
And
that's
seriously, you need
ask you then.
testosterone.
But my testosterone level was good. My
Well, what
testosterone
did they?
level was good. My estrogen or my
Well, was it
progesterone
good
was
for what? Was it good for what they're saying the range is? Because
no,
there's a
no.
difference
Yeah,
in
I had
being
no estrogen. I had like
okay.
what did she say? She said my thing was I have to pull up my let me pull up my doctor's.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you, my testosterone levels at one point when I first started having it done was at 20. So if you look at the range, they considered my testosterone normal. However, because I have a great doctor, she said it's not normal for you, and it's not normal for that level for a like 48, 49-year-old woman. So my levels, she took up to about 180 to 223. I ended up landing around 223, and I was that's my prime. That is my prime level right there. If I go above it, I get too much adrenal fatigue. It has the reverse effect. And if I go below, I'm the same way. I'm totally exhausted. So if I hit that sweet spot, that's where my body thrives.
Which we always have to test out. See,
Yep.
ladies, this is where I feel like there's this line in this show called White Lotus, where this woman who comes from like, a very wealthy Southern family, and she says, yeah, I'm just not at the age in my life anymore where I cannot live comfortably. And I'm just like, can I just be comfortable now in terms of I hear all of this. Yeah, I should go to the doctor. I mean, I'm desperate to ask you like who should I go to for testosterone? But at the same time, I'm gonna be so loaded that they just come to my house. Can you just come to my house, do your blood test at my house, check me out at my house?
That part.
Like,
That
just come
part.
to my house.
I don't want to leave my that part. I just don't want to leave my house. I'm so tired because like you said at the beginning, all of us just want to take a nap because the weather here in Seattle can't figure out if it wants to be warm or cold or dreary or sunny. Like we don't know. It's very confused and it throws me off. Okay, she said that my estrogen was extremely high, not high. She said extremely high and low progesterone. So that means my testosterone's, right?
No, estrogen is one thing, progesterone is one thing, and testosterone is the third thing. They're all
Okay.
separate. Like I'm on an estrogen patch, I'm on a progesterone pill at night before bed, and then I take a testosterone injection once a week.
Can
Oh,
you
that
just
sounds
mail me your
terrible.
testosterone? Like, do I have to
She's
get
gonna show up at my
injected?
doorstep.
Stick me in the butt.
Yeah, can you give me a little injection?
Can
Oh,
you
that
just
sounds so scary. Oh, I don't want to do that.
I'm so game. I'm game for whatever at this point.
It doesn't hurt at all. Yeah, it doesn't hurt at all. But the other thing too with the dry skin, same thing. My trick is I mix a tiny bit of castor oil in my facial moisturizer, my body moisturizer, and it works wonders.
Okay, I've been seeing a lot of this castor oil, like tons of little videos of women and their secret stuff. They're mixing it, and I'm like, "Are you serious? I grew up with castor oil. Like, I can't even look at it now without wanting to puke
Yeah,
because they used to
I'm
make us
slugging.
drink it as kids." But okay, I guess I'll give anything Stephanie says a try,
But
right?
see, I've been slugging and like I don't
What's
like
slugging?
it's like the Korean serums. They're like really thick, like serums, and they call them slug. I don't know what's in
Uh-huh.
them. I just put it on my face.
So you wait, so what do you mean though slugging? Like you keep it
It-
on
It's,
for a long time or
it's
something?
when you go to put it, no, when you go to put it on, it's like slimy, so it's a thicker serum that
Okay.
like creates like a better bond for your lotions.
Okay.
So
I'll give
I'll
that a
slug.
try too.
We talked about this because I feel like I sent you the slugging
Yeah,
one that
I
Maria
have
and
the
I were
slugging.
using.
I have what you talked about because I
Yeah,
actually bought two of them and it does feel really good on my
yeah,
face. I just need to now bathe in it.
yeah. Apparently, I need to also drink it because I don't know what is happening to. Maybe I need to slug my tongue. That's what it is. I just don't.
Okay.
I don't know.
You should
But
totally do a video and just be like, ah.
I think it's somebody's kink, probably. Maybe I can make money from that.
Oh my God. Oh, you probably could.
I could.
Okay, there's this lady online. Her name is Adley. She does I don't know if you guys ever watched, but when COVID first started and TikTok was kind of in its height, she was that lady that was like put chickens in her bathtub and would always prank her husband. She was the beginning of it before anybody did it. So anyways, recently she has been offering like teach you how to because she has had won like 10,000 awards from YouTube and TikTok of the most viral person. She's had billions of views and I was like, what? And she talks a lot about doing the things that are weird but very relatable to that subject. But I was watching her interview one day and I was like, yeah, I'm not that kind. I would never hide behind the door. I wouldn't have the patience to hide behind the door to, get my husband with a water gun or whatever. Even though I'd want to see it, I'm not doing it. And she continues to say, "Oh, you don't have to do that. You can do all kinds," because people were asking. And she's like, "You could do all kinds of things." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, we should totally midlife stuff like that." Like
Yeah.
seriously, you doing that on your tongue, Stephanie, throwing out the testosterone, like not even stopping, just throwing it out the window at my door,
Checks me in the neck.
right? And then it hits me, and I'm like, oh my God, energized.
With the needles.
Yeah.
Blood just gushing. I'm fine. I'm fine. Just keep driving.
Yeah. Because I feel like it also goes into what we were talking about also. We've all had a separate conversation of like, what do we want to do with our lives now? Right? Okay, so I think there's a little bit of deception happening here, first of all, because if you didn't hear us talking, you'd look at us three and go, oh, they look like they got energy. We combed our hair today. We threw on some lipstick and some makeup. I mean, I got my leather on that stuck to my skin.
I'm wearing
So,
hard pants. I'm wearing hard
yeah.
pants, so
And then same with you, Stephanie. I'm feeling the same thing. Like, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want to do with my life? Like, and it's not a 20-year-old, what do I want to do with my life? It's not
Right.
even a 30-year-old, what do I want to do with my life? I don't know about you two, but I feel like I'm in the stage of, I think I know what I want, but I also don't know if I want the energy to do that, right? Like I think I know I want it, but I look at it and I think, gosh, I'd have to muster up some energy to do that thing that I think I want. And then I got to sit back on the couch and be like, oh, let me think that through a little bit longer.
mm,
I don't know. What about you guys?
I'll let you speak to it, Stephanie, because I don't know if it's like the energy that I don't know if it's like energy in the same way like Wonderful's talking about. It's like, can I give it that energy? Is I guess the better question for me because I'm a single mom of three kids. So it's like, if I do this, am I going to be able to give it the energy it needs and deserves to be able to foster and grow into the thing it can be, as well as continue to provide the energy that my family needs from me on a regular basis because my kids are still they're not young, but they're still in the phase of childhood where they still depend on me for their mode of transportation, for pretty much everything still. And so I'm like, okay, if I do this, what energy do I have to give to that piece? And where
Yeah.
am I gonna have to take it away? Now my tongue is super dry.
Mine is a little different. Mine, I'm not worried about energy. What I am is I'm hustled out. I feel like my entire adult life, even as a kid, I was constantly playing sports. I was go, 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 go. I was going to college at the same time I was going to cosmetology school. I always had to it's like overdone, right? I had 4 kids in 5.5 years. I just feel like I've been go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And one of the careers that or one of the, yeah, careers I'm involved in, I know that I could take that, not have to hustle like I hustle now, where it's physical hustle. I would still have to hustle, but I'm at home. It's different when you're at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I could have more freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And I can make the finances, I could have the freedom without the constant go, 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 go. And that's just where I am. It's not, I still have all the energy, but I just don't want to go, go, go anymore.
Yeah. I hear, we've been looking at properties. So I currently live in the city and we're making our way to the country because I have this lofty idea that I want to be country girl, right? I want, and not so much a country life. I just want silence. Don't want to hear any more ambulances. I just want to be in the silence. So I associate that silence with country living, right? So I've been looking at properties and I get greedy. I'm like, ooh, let's go look at that 100-acre. Okay, as great as that is, the other day, my husband's like, hey, let's take our 20 feet freaking backyard and put new chips in it. We can shovel it. Girl, I was over it. I was over it in an hour. And it was like, I'm only wheelbarrowing 5 feet away from the chips to the backyard. And the backyard is not big at all. I live on a 0.833, and I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I'm getting greedy. Maybe I don't want 10 acres. We looked at a 20-acre plot of land and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I'm like, do I really want that though? Like, what? No. I mean, I could have silence if I just put earplugs in.
You
So,
get a high rise, go to the top floor, and it'll be quiet. Go high enough, it's quiet up there. Then you have
yeah.
no yard work.
Zero yard. But I'm with you on that, Stephanie, because I feel like it's sort of that same mentality, right? it's the hustle thing. I don't want to be in the environment of the hustle. That's really what I'm looking for is I don't want to be in the space where that energetic field is still happening, where there's rushing. I mean, every now and then, well, okay, every hour or so you hear a really fast car just, and I'm not that close to the road. I'm close enough that I can hear it, but not so close where I hear them drag racing. But I hear them and I think, yeah, that's the energy I don't want to be in anymore. I don't want to be in an energy of the fast cars, the fast life, the fast thing. I still have the hustle in me. I just don't want to be around it. So I'm with you on that. That is what's making my pleather pants stick to my skin today. Is that knowledge. It's making me sweat. Hot.
Well, it interferes. Like I can't. I feel like I'm not seeing my grandkids like I want to see my grandkids, and I'm not seeing my kids like I want to see my kids. And
Mhm.
you know, if I can, if there's a trade off, and I could just do this one thing versus all the things, and I could render a better result. You know that thing of work smarter, not harder.
Mhm.
Like when you're putting your energy into too many things, you're just spread too thin. But if I take
Right.
all that energy and I put it into one thing, I would be working smarter, not harder,
Yeah.
and it would
That's
Yeah.
where
free up my time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I am because with my kids, it's like I'm spread already so thin. And so, like, to Wonderful's point about that energy of that, race by hustle, like, I'm in that chaos all the time with already their stuff. So, the environment that I want for building, my career, my business is that energy that things just flow. Like it's like a
Mhm.
river and it's just flowing. It's not a raging river. It's not whitewater rafting. This is just a nice stream and it has good balance around it. It has that peacefulness to it. But, how do you find that balance? And I think a lot of it is like, what are we creating within ourselves? And I have to have that conversation with myself a lot because like I said, my environment with my kids is chaotic. So I'm constantly in that chaos mode. So then it's hard. How do I come out of that? How do I switch between those two worlds?
Yeah. If anybody has any suggestions, call 555-444-66. I'm kidding.
Eight, five.
It just comment because I feel like this isn't and it's not like a one-time conversation, right? Because I think all of us are experiencing the evolution of that space of what do we want and are we going to get there? I'm reading a book currently called Beyond Anxiety. It's written by Martha Beck. And she talks a lot about how we're so conditioned to be in an artificial environment so much that our creativity is rarely ignited because we've just been surrounded by artificial spaces. And when she first said that, I was like, no, I've got trees, but really the drive to work, the drive back, right? The grocery stores, nothing is as organic in view as it used to be. Because when I was a little kid, we used to go to the open markets. I mean, granted, it wasn't in the US, but all over Europe, there's all kinds of open markets too, right? Just the type of spaces that we are involved in is constantly, and maybe that was the drive to come home, Stephanie, because right, it's more, you have a more organic environment in your home because you're making it more your space. And maybe that's why this online space is much more appealing to you, Lisa, because it is more of what you create versus going into an office where she talks a lot about hard, straight lines that we're surrounded by, desks, cubicles, all the things that distort our organic view as human beings because we need to have that space. So maybe I'm also saying that out loud because eventually maybe Girl Sesh will offer a retreat where we are like, we're done with this, for a time. Like I think a week out of this artificial landscape, it always does anybody good, right? Because it's you're forced and and it's not by your house. So you can't just drive home and be like, I'm good. I don't want to do
And
it.
we also have to understand like when people hear artificial landscape, right? Like yours and Stephanie's idea of like a tranquil environment that would be outside of your artificial would be defined differently than mine. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of times when I hear that people are like, "Oh, you should go for a hike," and I say, "Fuck you." Like, I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. I don't drink coffee. I don't like hiking. I don't like being out in the nature. You want to take me out of my artificial environment? Like, I hear you when you say, get me away from my home. Yes, because when I'm away from my home, I have to think about the things that I want to do inside my home that I'm like, oh, I should do this. I should do this, right?
Right.
Take me to like Palm Springs. Put me in front of a pool. That's, like
Yeah.
that's where, take me to a spot like a nice resort where there's no Wi-Fi and I can't get on my phone. That would be my idea of camping, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Going out into the wilderness or going for a hike isn't exactly my cup of tea. And so I think people also need to remember, like, don't just automatically think, oh, I have to go into this nature space. Go into a space
Yes.
that's
Very true.
different than your everyday environment.
Very true. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and I think she says that a lot because she doesn't define organic environment as the woods. She just describes it from a space that motivates our intuitive creativity. Which honestly, ladies, when she's talking about it, I've reread the same time, and I'm like, am I creative? Because I'm very logical. I've been very logical most of my, I like systems, I like structure. So I kind of built a life around that. And I've been really wondering, what does creativity look like for me? I have zero desire to paint. Don't put because she does that. So she talks a lot about that in her book. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not down. Not have
But
you
I
thought
think that's
about
the
your
thing.
creativity?
I think that's the same thing, right? Like creativity is not one specific thing.
Mhm. It's very
Like
subjective.
you and I've had this conversation where you're like, oh, you're always like, you can just like come up with this idea and like you'll make this decor and like all this stuff. But I look at you and like how you will organize your house or how you like will arrange photo frame. That's creative. You
Yeah.
might not see it as a creative, but that's a creative landscape that I'm not comfortable in. And then like I look at Stephanie's background and I'm like, oh my gosh, her like, background is so
Yeah.
cute. Like
Yeah.
that's creativity to me too. And I think we need to stop like creativity is not just drawing and designing something, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of what are you good at that makes you happy in doing it.
Yeah. I agree. Where do you think your creativity is more expressed, Stephanie, or more stifled? Or is that the challenge right now? Why you
So this is yeah, so this is so funny. There was a time that I had like my desk jobs, right? Worked at the front of a chiropractor, eye doctor, worked at Boeing in the cubicle. And I can tell you, I worked 2 days from home at Boeing, 3 days in office. And when I came out of that corporate world and I was at home, it was freedom. When you put me in an office, the thought of going back to an office and working, like load my gun. Like it makes like I'm like a lion in a cage, like kill me first. And when I've worked from home, the environment that I'm in is so not distracting that I can work good because I have squirrel brain. So everything is like a distraction. And I just feel like I'm trapped, right?
Mhm.
But my creativity, I am a facts and data logical person. I'm also like Lisa. Do not get I do not can't camp. I don't glamp. I don't do any of that. I am not hiking up and I have gone on hikes with my kids just to appease my kids, but no, that is not relaxing to me. I don't enjoy it. I'm not a nature girl. I don't even like walking in my yard. Like it's just not my thing. I don't do any of the flower beds. That's my husband that does that. And even my background, like my daughter is the one who helped me with my background because I suck at decorating. I can organize out the wazoo. You
Mm.
can eat off my floors. I can clean like nobody's business. I can organize and I can prioritize stuff like really fast. Like if I have a lot to get done, I can just go, I have to get it like do it like this. But you will never catch me painting or doing crafts. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, I would feel more relaxed at Disney World than I would
Yeah.
in a paint class, you know? I'm like, you give me take me to a resort, you know. I even love to fly, so even going on an airplane, but as far as creativity, there's times I'm like, what am I really creative at, right?
Yeah.
Because we're so data driven and like structures
Yes.
and
Yeah.
kind of just tell me what to do. If I'm starting something new, tell me, like even on social media, okay, just tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that natural creativity that some people, I have my kids, a bunch of my kids, actually all six of our kids can draw, they can paint, they can, I mean, they're just creative. They can decorate.
Yeah.
But I also think like Stephanie, you've said a lot of things that is creative. The fact that you can organize in a way
Yeah.
that's
I
really
agree.
creative. And I think we get stuck in this definition of like creative looks like you can draw, you can paint, you can sing, you can write a poem. Like there's more
Right. You
ways
can
than
work with
one.
clay.
Right. Like there's so many ways to be creative, you
Yeah.
know? Like, people always ask me, I don't know how you get it done. I'm like, I just I get it done. Right.
Yeah.
And artists, when you're like, wow, that's amazing. How'd you draw that? They're like, I just drew it. Right. Because that's
Yeah.
how their mind operates and works. And I think we also need to get away from that, what we've been like conditioned to know or told to know, or, like it's this, who said this is normal? Who said that this is the
Right.
normal? This isn't the
Right.
normal. Everybody's normal is different. None of us are the same.
And
No.
you're busy because you have kids, like Wonderful and I have kids, our kids are grown, right? But you're still in the middle of it. But we remember the hustle and bustle. Like
Yeah.
you had three, I had four kids in 5.5 years. And then in the teen years, we ended up with two more. And especially when my kids were little, how do you do it? And I said the exact same thing Lisa said. I just did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't
Totally.
overthink it. I just did it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember somebody came over to my house one time and she was like, she had the same amount of kids that I have. And she goes, how do you keep your house clean? And I was like, I don't, it's just a part of my normal thing that I do because I already feel so chaotic. That's one space that if it just adds on to me, it would break me, right? Where for her, she could handle chaos in every area, kids, play. Like, she was the kind that instead of folding laundry, she'd just go shopping and buy more stuff. I remember I was like, wait, what? She's like, oh yeah, you should see my trunk. It's full of clothes. And I'd be like, okay, I don't know. I got nothing for you because I'm not a therapist, but I think that's some therapy thing that needs to be worked out. But I also think, one of the suggestions that Martha Beck has in her book is to there's this new thing out called oh my gosh, where you saturate yourself in it's like
The
what's that
slugging,
thing?
like slugging.
Slugging.
Plugging.
Yeah, where you take the time and you do the thing that makes you feel creative and you just do it nonstop for like an hour straight and don't let it, because her whole thing is like integrating yourself into that space of what is creative for you and then keep going in that space. And if Lisa can get enough water, if I can stop sweating and you get like we can do it. We can get ourselves into that space of finding this creativity. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm using the right words because finding it is assuming we've lost it,
Yeah.
right? Is it even really that?
Accepting. I don't think it's finding it. I think it's
Yeah.
like acknowledging what I'm good at is my creativity.
Yeah. Or maybe
Okay?
new creativity now.
Yeah.
Maybe the creativity I had then isn't the same that I have now, you know? I
Yeah.
don't know. Okay, so here's another thing. So remember I was telling you about the lady, Adley, I can't really remember her name. And she said the first thing that she does when she puts together her billion view viral stuff is put two things together that don't belong, right? That also create emotional space. So I'm thinking about it and I'm like, I love nature. These two, whatever. I don't camp. I don't camp, but I like to walk in nature. I like to hike, but that's as far as naturey I get, right? And I have tried some planting, but I really just like watching my husband plant. So anyway, and so I was thinking like, okay, well, what would be the two things for me that I think never makes any sense to people that you could put together? So I love sequins and I love, you know, crazy ass shouldery and my pleather pants. I love things like that. And she was like, because she was saying how a company went to her and said, I really want you to talk about or help us promote this new thing. And the two items that you get to use is a pregnancy test and something else. So she was like, okay, here's what I would do. I would take my opening shot would be smashing the pregnancy test with a hammer and then turning the plastic into the pregnancy test into something pretty or something like that. And, you know, the person who was interviewing her is like, oh, that's really smart, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, ooh, what would be so in midlife, what do you think doesn't go together but makes so much sense or is relatable?
Yeah. That's a hard one.
I can think of one right now.
You go first because I'm still processing
Well,
my
looking
my
at
brain, my midlife brain.
well, looking at us, I think one of the things that people assume midlife women don't take care of themselves or don't want to, you know, own a hairbrush anymore or curl their hair or put extensions in or get fake lashes or things like that. I think those are the two things that never go together, age and glamour,
Mm.
right? Because there is such a huge thing about ageism. Like people are aging us. Like one of the people think it's a compliment, but I almost feel like it's a jab when they're like, "Oh, you're a grandmother." I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm a grandma." You know, I or with Lisa when your kids are like, "Oh my God, all my friends think you're so hot," like the MILF thing.
Mhm.
Right? Like those two things never seem like they go together, but it really does though. Like, who are you to tell me that I can't look like the way I want to look and be a grandmother at the same time, type of thing.
Well, I
So,
think like historically, like our not necessarily our generation, but like we were brought up in a time where television showed us what we were to expect when we got to this midlife point, and it was the Golden Girls. I mean, I am
okay.
now older than the Golden Girls. You guys
Right?
are older than the Golden.
That is
I'm
insane
like, I
about.
don't look anything like these women. Granted, they're all obviously white women, so obviously I don't look anything like them, but I don't feel like I look anything like what I'm not
Yes.
dressing like them. I'm not. I was like, I'm thinking these ladies were in their like 70s and 80s,
Yes, that's
like
what I thought
living
too.
together. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, when I'm in my 70s or 80s, we're gonna get a house and this will be great. Not when I'm realizing they're 45 or 44. That's
Right.
crazy.
When
Yeah.
we moved, when we had to move my mother-in-law out of her house into memory care, we had to go through all the photos, right? We had to go through everything. And so we looked at the pictures from when my husband was first married and his parents. They were younger than we were, and they looked twice as old.
Hmm.
And my mom at 50, I'm 50. My mom at 50 did not look like me at 50 at all.
Yeah.
And my dad was a younger looking guy, still is, but there's some sort of there's something that happened there that we look younger than our parents
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
at our age. And also thinking about the Golden Girls, right? How they dressed. Like they're old. I
Yeah.
mean, it was old
Yeah.
woman haircuts, right? I mean, all three of us are sitting here with like headfuls of long hair, facefuls of makeup, like, and we don't have a bunch of wrinkles. Like, we just didn't look like that, right? We're not dressing in our old
Um,
women clothes. We're still dressing, and I think that is something with the dress. And something else I think that is a stigma is we're not supposed to have any libido anymore. Like we're not supposed to want to have
right.
intimacy with our significant others. It's like we're supposed
Or
to get
hot
middle
and
aged.
steamy, like the
Yeah,
sexy, hot, steamy thing. That
yeah,
is supposed to be like done when you're
done.
40 years old or
Yeah,
some
yeah.
insanity like that. Okay, I'm looking at the ages, you guys, and during the show, Rose is supposed to be 55.
Okay.
Dorothy was 54 and Blanche was 50 years old. Literally, me and Blanche are the same age, right? 50. And Sophia was 80 at she made the most sense.
Yeah.
80
Yeah.
years old, right? But I agree with you
But
because
at their age when they played these women was they were
Yeah,
in
how
the
old?
they were in
Yeah,
the, but not the character. The age of the actual actress was like they were like in their 40s.
yeah, Blanche was 48.
Yeah, right?
Like,
Right? And I'm
oh
like,
yeah,
no way. And I remember growing up too because like my mom has always looked, like older. Her hair went white a lot sooner. And then when I met my aunt, I think the first time I remember meeting her, because she lived in Japan, and so she came over for a visit. Even my grandma, when they came over, my grandma had this dark black hair, and I was like, wow, my grandma doesn't have, I didn't know anything about hair dye, right? At the time, I think I was like
mm,
maybe 7 or 8, so I had no like concept of what that was because my mom didn't do it, and so I was like, oh wow, she's, her hair is so dark, and she's an old lady, but she didn't look like an old lady, and then
yeah,
my aunt I look so much like my aunt even now, like her hair, she had hair just like mine. It was like dark jet black, big and full like my hair, and she looked young up until the day, and she died really young, unfortunately, of cancer, but she looked really young for a really long time. So I was like, I just assumed it was, oh, I have these Asian genetic genes and that's why I look the way I do, but I'm seeing, as a generation, we're at a whole, we're looking younger and younger because I
yeah.
think also we want to be younger. And not that we want to be younger, but we're just like we're not old. We still have life to live. We still want to do
Right,
stuff.
right. And that's why I think it's important to have these conversations about, the salt and the peptides because we're actually seeking it. We're looking for not, and I think we have to dispel this idea of like we're looking for the fountain of youth or that we want to. I no, I'm good. I enjoy the age I'm at. I don't want to repeat my 30s. I'm not interested. Because back in the day, do you remember that when people would be like, oh, if I could be 25 again? Honestly, right now, no. No, not doing
I don't
it.
even want to be 40 again. That was only 5 years ago.
well, and we
Yeah,
also take care of her. So that's the thing too, that you like we just do things differently. Like they did not, I never remember, my mother did not work out a day in her life. Ever.
mm, yeah,
Never worked out. Really didn't eat right. And remember, we kind of grew up in that generation of everything fast and now, TV dinners, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like so the healthy eating wasn't there. The skincare wasn't there,
yeah,
right? I mean, even my mother-in-law, like same thing. There was no exercise. It was very sedentary life, like watching TV all the time, not working out, not having the skincare, not and they just kind of thought you were just supposed to
Wither away and die.
wither away.
yeah.
And I remember one of my husband's aunts said, "Oh yeah, well you just get older and you just get shorter and fatter." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. Or do you remember back in the day too, those salons where every woman that came out had short permed hair? And I remember thinking like, is there an age that everybody hits where
Yeah.
that happens?
They
Because
all
that
have the
was the
same
whole
hairdo.
thing.
I think about that all the time. I'm like, what would I look like if I did that? Like that would be terrible. Because I remember in high school, I was like, I think I'm gonna cut my hair because Terry Hatcher was on the
Mm,
Adventures of Lois Lane and Clark Kent, right?
yes,
And she
yeah,
was like the first woman I saw on TV that looked kind of like me, right? I like a leading character. I was like, oh, she has long dark hair, and then she chopped her hair, and I was like, oh, that's cute. I'm gonna do that. No,
I
no,
totally did that. And I
no, my
looked at
hair is
those
so
pictures.
thick. Like I looked crazy. Because I need my hair long, otherwise I look like a belle. Like my hair will poof out, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened. And so my senior photos are terrible because I decided to chop my hair because I thought I would be cute, and it wasn't. So yeah, like I was like, oh my God, what happens when I get old and I have to do this old lady haircut?
Yes, I used to always think that too. And I'd be like, could my hair even handle a perm when I'm older? You know what I mean? Because it's so chemically, and I remember getting perms back in the day, and you could smell it on
Oh
your
yeah.
pillow for weeks. And I remember thinking like, wow, it's a real thing, right? Like women, even the leading ladies on television that were older. I remember, okay, you guys, one of my favorite shows, it was Dynasty growing up, the OG Dynasty. And Jackie, what was her name? No, it wasn't Jackie. Joan Collins. She was my girl. I was like, oh, I want to be like her. You know, she was a little bit spicy. And she always had that short black, like in perm hair. And I was like, but I don't know if I want to rock that.
Oh,
But,
no.
but she was my jam. Growing up, I thought, oh, Joan Collins. She is it for me. And now, I mean, she's still alive and she still looks fabulous, but definitely I think those women too were defying what it was supposed to look like as you age. That's why we look towards them. But Golden Girls, the most popular show in the 90s, was, from my view, was showing us what we were heading into.
Yeah.
And now looking back, I'm like, no way. And this is why we have this show, everybody. This is why we decided to get online, get on YouTube, chat it up with you all, because we want to stir it up and put two things together that don't belong together, but relatable for this, like dry ass tongues and gorgeous hair, beautiful backgrounds, and don't know if this is what I want to keep doing, sweaty legs with my pleather and friggin' cold feet. I have cold feet, but I'm
Yeah.
sweating. Like, what is that about?
Freezing hands, freezing feet, dry tongue, just falling apart.
Oh, it's just it's all the rage. It's all the rage, and you're invited to the party.
Well, the one thing I noticed, the other thing I was going to tell you ladies today too was all of a sudden my hair feels super, super thick right now. Like my hair's always been really, really thick. I've been very blessed. But when I was pregnant, my hair was super because nothing falls out, right? Whereas like now, I was like, gosh, my hair feels so thick, but it's falling out so much.
Mm,
And I'm like, is it just rapidly growing and then rapidly falling out? What is happening to me right now? What
yeah,
is this the new normal?
right. This hair loss thing. Okay, let's go to our specialist, Stephanie, because I've always had a lot of hair, but man, when I comb it now, I'm like, what is this? And it's not, like my pH, all the things. That's not it. Is it? What is happening?
It's perimenopausal. I had the same thing. So my hair, it's growing back really good now. But when my period stopped back last June,
Mm.
I was noticing like little ball, like, and it wasn't because of my extensions before anybody goes there. It was not where my extensions were at. Okay. So everybody, it's hair extensions. No, it's not my extensions. And it was in the weirdest places. It's like I said, it's growing back now, but it was once again me balancing those
Hormone.
hormones.
Yeah.
And like I said, my testosterone had gotten a little too high. So it was just balancing all that out. And once it started to get balanced out, and I mean, I take a collagen, right? Like I take a collagen powder. I highly recommend collagen, and things that are high in fat, butter, tallow, ghee, eat your eggs. That will help regenerate
And again,
that. And
ladies,
because,
these are good things to have. Like we can't be afraid to eat fats and we can't be afraid
yes,
to get our salts. We need these things. This is a good thing. We need to reprogram
Yes.
ourselves.
I am
Yes.
doing a sardine fast right now, y'all. That is how important I take care of my health. That I
Mm,
am actually doing a 3-day sardine fast because I'm determined to shoot my ketone levels up and to help with like balancing out my hormones. If
mm.
if I'm willing to do a 3-day sardine fast, you know how serious I
Yeah.
am about
Yeah.
Yeah.
all of this.
Because,
Yeah.
I love my snacks and I love to eat all the time. I don't think I'm doing a sardine fast. Like I'll just stick to my sashimi, my
Trust me,
sushi.
I'm not even a sardine fan, but I just put like some hot sauce
Woo,
and mustard on it and just down it.
Yeah.
woo.
I'm actually in the okay, so recent, oh gosh. Okay, last confession, and we gotta end the show because we can talk forever. I honestly did stop having a period just this last month. Like all the symptoms were there and
Oh.
I was waiting. I was at the ready. I'm like, oh, I got my tampons, my pads, nothing, zero, right? And then there's a little bit of spotting, but all of the things that come with it, like I could eat an entire cake at Whole Foods by myself. Like that's what I was like. I kept telling my husband, babe, you gotta go to the store. Gotta have cake, gotta have ice cream. And I haven't been that ravagey with sugar in a long time. So I was like,
Trip.
I need to check myself. What is happening here? Right. And then I think about you two and I'm like, oh, that's what's happening. Because it stopped. I went from like having a period like I'm a 16-year-old for 6 months and then nothing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's where I'm at. And that's why I'm probably sweaty and sugar freaking happy right now. So I'm cutting it all off. I'm saying it to everyone. I'm cutting it off and I'm focusing because my body needs a lot of protein more so than anything else. What I've found when I go to see my doctors, I have really low protein and I need it. So, anyways, any last words of wisdom for this week's um girl sesh, any drops of nuggets that we can leave our
Get
audience?
your good salts, get your good salts, get your good fats. They're going to be important for your skin, your like tongue, apparently. Balance you out. I think this is something though, like not only women our age need to know this, but the younger women that are going to be, it's inevitable. None of us are going to be able to avoid menopause. None of us are going to be able to avoid perimenopause. So having this knowledge sooner in your back pocket and like retraining your body, I think is going to be also really important.
Absolutely. Stephanie, what about you?
You don't have to go get an ugly haircut at 50.
That part.
Yes. Double yes.
I can't
Oh
even
my gosh.
imagine like
Yeah.
My
I mean,
mom
if
gave
that's
me
what you want.
my mom gave me a Dorothy. Do y'all remember Dorothy Hamill
Oh
back in the
yeah.
yeah.
day?
Oh yeah.
Second grade, I had long blonde hair. And my mom thought if she cut my hair, it would make it even thicker. And she had me a Dorothy Hamill haircut in the second grade. And that has scarred me for life. Scarred me. Like I will have hair down to my butt till I die. They'll be wheeling me out the hair salon, get hair extensions at
Okay,
85.
Stephanie, the best part of the story is my mom thought it would grow back thicker. Like
Oh yeah.
all of those superstitions our parents had. Like my dad was like, she's gonna drink a gallon of milk every night before she goes to bed to make her bones strong. Well, I'm lactose intolerant. Not a good look.
Mm-mm.
But
Nope.
that's what he thought. It was like bones and milk. It's the whole thing. Okay, my big advice is it doesn't have to be this way.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be
Yep.
this way. Just keep tuning in every week. Share us with your friends, share us with your neighbors. Let everybody know that we are having important conversations and we're having a lot of fun talking about all the things, all the things. So until next week, bye.